Recently, I've been getting a lot of comments on my Console Peasant Quotes videos, asking why it is I make them, and I've addressed this before, but nobody seems to listen. So I'm gonna say it clearly, and this is the very last time I say it. The reason I make these videos is because they're not unlike those dumb Facebook or dumb Twitter quotes. It's funny to laugh at stupid people. Now, I'm not making fun of all console gamers, only those who think that spreading ignorance is a good idea. There are vastly more things that I'd rather put my mind to. I love learning about space, technology, oceans, strange creatures that may or may not be out there, and advancements in medicine and human intellect alike. But there's so many people out there who fill the internet with this BS, and if nobody points out the faults, it will just become accepted, and I cannot let this happen. I'm not going to sit back and let these people spread ridiculous ideas because they're emotionally attached to something. This is the reason I will debunk radicals of any kind. Christians, feminists, anti-racists, and console peasants and PC elitists. Radicalism needs to go, and I'm gonna see to it that I'm the one who slams the door in its face on the way out. So I was gathering quotes to make a Console Peasant Quotes video when I stumbled upon this gold mine. This is an article on Tech Radar that they posted back in 2008, which is titled 12 Reasons Console Gaming Beats PCs. Now I looked it over real quick and wanted to take a few pieces here and there, but the article is so good and so well researched, I cannot let this kind of information be torn up. So I'm going to read you all 12 reasons. Let's begin. Number 1. No mouse and keyboard support. Holy crap, starting off with a bang. The very raison d'etre of PC gaming. Well, guess what? Not everyone wants to play games posturing like Rick Wakeman. The joypad has been gradually refined over 20 years into the finely honed gaming tool you see today. Pressing digital keys to move? How very 1982. I agree. It's very unfortunate that on PC we have the option to choose between mouse and keyboard and every single controller to ever exist. I kinda wish someone would just force us to use one controller so we had absolutely no choice here. I think that's the best option for any gamer in my opinion. 2. Playing on TV. While the PC might happily spew forth images consisting of a quadrillion pixels, the real issue here is that with a console you're playing on a nice big TV in the living room on a comfy sofa, and, if you have any sense, with a 5.1 surround sound system. If we wanted to slouch at a desk in a dimly lit room, we'd just stay at work. I will literally be able to use the exact same counter that I used above. Okay. Isn't it sad that I can choose between gaming on a desk or gaming on a TV in my living room? Now really, if you're the sort of person who says, well, PC gamers don't couch game ever, then why, I ask, did Nvidia make a bunch of money selling streaming devices for PC gamers so they could stream their games to their couch and play them on a TV? Why do I have friends who game on PC and use their HD TV to play in their living room? And the same could be said about console gaming as well. I know people who play on Xbox at their desk. Now, if I'm really going to get into it, a desk chair is much better for your back in most situations. Posture being kept maintained while you're sitting, and slouching is easier to do on a couch. Regardless, this is a stupid thing to say, and I hear this all the time. It's exactly the same thing as saying, I like ice cream. Those idiots who eat frozen yogurt are missing out because I can eat my ice cream in a cone. Understand? Number 3. It just works. Oh, how we console owners point and chuckle at PC websites where the incubant experts attempts to explain to some poor sap that his 3-month-old and thus obsolete quad AMD 3000 and Nvidia Orgasmo card won't actually run generic FPS 10 because it's got driver 1.1 instead of 1.1a. Try this. Go to shop, buy game, insert disc, game runs. Bliss. Here's the thing about this one. I want to take a scenario where a particular game doesn't work. Now for a console gamer, what can be done? They can try to clean the disc, and that's about all they can do. However, on PC, if a game doesn't work, I don't have to stop there. I have many options available to me to make the game work. Sure, it's going to take some time, but who cares? I'm not that console gamer who can't play the game and has no options to fix it. But I love this. He tells us here that we as PC gamers always have trouble launching and playing every single game we download and try to play because our computers are obsolete or our drivers aren't updated. And the fact is that all hardware, be it on PC or consoles, have hardware updates. I just get to choose when I want to update my hardware, and I'm going to ask you how complicated this sounds. Turn on console, pop in disk, play game. Turn on PC, click on game, play game. Neither of these are complicated at all, but these people act like I have so many hoops that I have to jump through before I can actually play the games. Number 4. No need for endless upgrades. Yes, the PC is hugely upgradable, and a bloody good job too, otherwise you'd never get to play all those games built by cutting-edge technology by crazy Scandinavian ex-demo hackers. What? What even was that insult? What the? Cutting-edge technology by crazy Scandinavian ex-demo... What the heck? Moving on. And anyway, a console is upgradable. When the next Xbox or PlayStation comes out, we sell the old one and buy a new one. Easy. I'm going to read you the definition of upgrade because it seems like you don't actually understand. To upgrade is to raise something to a higher standard, in particular, improve equipment or machinery by adding or replacing components. So simply purchasing a newer version of something is not an upgrade. According to the definition, you cannot just buy a new product to replace an old one and call it an upgrade by definition. So no, you can't upgrade your hardware. You have to wait until Microsoft and Sony decide that they need to come out with a new system, and then you can purchase it. But on the topic of upgrading, I find it funny that most of your arguments to switch to consoles can be rebutted with the very first counter-argument that I made. Why is it that you feel having the ability to upgrade is a bad thing? And what in the world makes you think that I have to upgrade my hardware every year? I need to put this into perspective real quick, because I'm tired of hearing this. If I built a PC back in 2009, I could still be playing games on it today. I would be playing games on console equivalent graphics, but I could still be playing those games because hardware does not degrade. It doesn't die within a year, and games are not as powerful as you think if I play them at console settings. Now you may counter with, okay, so they don't degrade, but you can't play graphically demanding games unless you upgrade, which you have to do every time a new game comes out. And again, you're not understanding. Nobody controls my graphics settings. By the way, on PC, we have graphics settings, and we can literally change everything. So if I'm not playing a game well, on Ultra, I can turn a few settings down to high or even lower if I have to make up the frame rate that I'm losing. So again, I could potentially have a build from 2009 still playing games today on console grade settings, and I can prove this yet again. If PC gamers had to upgrade every year, then why is it that every PC has different hardware in it? Why are no two PCs the exact same? And why is it that a lot of my friends build budget PCs with 700 series graphics cards? If we all had to upgrade, wouldn't you think that we would all be on the same hardware? Of course, so you might be missing something here. I implore that you look at your consoles. This generation of consoles was more like PCs than ever before. Inside your consoles, you have graphics cards and processors similar to PC hardware. So then why is it that your consoles are still playing games if hardware has to be upgraded every year? Either you're wrong, or somehow Microsoft and Sony know how to upgrade your hardware through updates. Which before you start, no. This isn't physically possible, so don't you dare start saying that. Number 5. Cheaper hardware. We've all heard the arguments and excuses. Face it, if you really want a decent PC to play games, and no, we don't want to build one ourselves, prices start around 500 euros. And if you want to play games of any sort of quality, your rig is more like $1,000. For that, you could buy 3 consoles, extra controllers, and the top 10 games of the year. Now we're talking. I was starting to think that this guy was just going to use the same old arguments that every console peasant uses, but this one is actually a new one. Not really, it's the exact same. I need you guys to know that there are real pitfalls to PC gaming, and I cannot tell you how funny it is that they never get mentioned. Instead, people make stuff up about PC and spread these misconceptions. And again, like I said, there are real pitfalls that you could actually use, and you never do. So let's debunk this then, shall we? I have built 7 computers. Out of those, 6 of them were gaming PCs, and out of those, only 2 of them surpassed $1,000. The cheapest gaming PC I ever built was $507. And yeah, it plays video games. Surprise, surprise. And you know something weird? It plays games at a higher frame rate and higher graphical fidelity than your consoles at this generation. That's very strange. Or maybe is it that building a PC is vastly cheaper than buying a pre-built or even a console? Yes, a console. You can look up many gaming PCs that not only are cheaper than consoles, but play games at higher frame rates and a higher graphical fidelity. But your problem isn't that you can't find a PC at that price. It's that you don't want to build a PC. You literally admitted that you weren't smart enough to do so, but I'm going to tell you that that's not true. There are videos out there of children building PCs. Children! So then you might just be too lazy to even try, and that's what bothers me. Someone who is too lazy to research and try to learn how to build a PC is probably too lazy about their research writing this article, which is probably why it's been so easy to debunk. Number 6. The Big P. The PC is gradually becoming the ginger stepchild of the developer community. Even stalwarts like Valve are moving to console because, let's be honest, piracy is eroding the PC world from within like a mercilessly enthusiastic cancer. Holy cow, were you writing a World of Warcraft novel here or something? Piracy is eroding the PC world from within like a mercilessly enthusiastic cancer. Seriously, could you have been more dramatic? It's becoming less and less viable for developers whose budgets are spiraling ever upwards. Recently, the World of Goo developer suggested piracy of his games was at a rate of about 90%. 90%. Percent. Good God, this article has been up for 8 years, guys. That just ain't funny anymore. Who in the world thinks piracy is actually funny? I sure as hell sure don't. That's not something I look at and think, oh, haha, you stole something. I met a guy at my old work and I was telling him about the Steam sale. He laughed at me and said, you actually buy your games? This enraged me, and I told him that there would never be a scenario in which I thought that it was okay to pirate games. I told him that it was a disgrace to PC gamers everywhere that he stole games, and you know what he said next? Look, I only take from AAA developers, and I play on the PS4. So firstly, PC gamers are not the only ones doing this, and this little turd thought it was okay even though being a console gamer. So what does that tell you? How about that everyone is different? Every individual has a different moral system, and their conscience is bothered by less or more depending on the person, not the platform they game on. And saying that we're becoming the ginger stepchild cracks me up, being as how more developers are porting and even designing their games first on PC. Even Microsoft is trying to get a little bit of that PC pie, so that was stupid. And lastly, Valve moving away from PC? Number 7. The Japanese. They may not be everyone's taste, but PC gamers do miss out on a whole raft of amazing games crafted by genius Japanese developers, whose focus is mainly consoles. Crazy stuff like Patapon, Katamari, Okami, Vibribbon, Parappa, not to mention hordes of amazing JRPGs. Are you talking about Okami, Nintendo games, Kingdom Hearts, Shenmue, and all these other games you mentioned? 'Cause I play those on my PC through emulators. I don't know who's missing out, but it ain't me, and that's another thing. Every game that gets locked away, I can and will play on an emulator someday. The company is only shooting itself in the foot by not porting the game to PC and making money off of it. Either way, I still play the game. Only in one scenario, the company made a boo-boo. Number 8. No first-party support. Because the PC is an open platform, which is a good thing, there's no ownership and therefore no desire to drive it forward. What? The PC has no desire to drive it forward. Why on earth didn't anyone tell me this before? Here I am thinking about all the millions of games that I can play that never came to consoles, and all the games that I can still play today even though the games came out years ago. Jeez, it's almost like we're stuck in the past, right? Microsoft is way too busy with the Xbox to bother about games for Windows. And so we either get the biggest games first with PC ports following months after, or we get exclusives that never appear on PC at all. Still, at least you have, Crysis and Crysis 2. Firstly, Microsoft isn't too busy anymore, being as how they port their Xbox exclusives the same time the Xbox games come out. And I want you to name me 10 games that were delayed on PC. The only game I can think of is GTA 5, and really, who cares? We have so many more exclusives that never come to consoles that we play all the time. The sad thing is that even with this fact, many people disregard these games as not real games. Games aren't real unless they're on consoles, but how is that a justifiable argument at all? I love though that this guy thinks that Crysis and Crysis 2 are the only PC exclusives. I could even be so bold as to say that games from the 360 and PS3 era and beyond are now exclusives for us. You can only play so many of them on your current consoles. However, I can play them anytime I want. I have infinite backwards compatibility here. Number 9. The lack of patch mentality. Okay, we'll admit it. Console games do get patched, but infrequently and not to any great extent. Truth is that for the majority of console titles, when we buy our games from the shop, they're actually finished, which is nice. Now this guy could be downing on early access, which would be a logical argument here. However, I don't think that's where this guy's head was at all. He may use some pretty lengthy vocabulary, but his intelligence is pretty easy to discern. I take it that he's probably talking about bad PC ports, which is never a good thing for anybody, no matter what platform you play on. And the sad thing is, this guy's pretending that it only happens on PC. Number 10. Innovation, innovation, innovation. It's true that when it gets it right, PC gaming is awesome, beautiful, high-res, online fragfests. But when was the last time you played something truly innovative? Just look around you at the games coming to consoles. You may mock the Wii, but when was the last time you had a drunken 4-player tennis match in your PC games room? Wow! What big balls you have saying that. Innovation coming from the systems whose games are all first and third person shooters with stealth mechanics, racing games, and sports games. Are you not aware that consoles are missing full genres of gaming, like MMORPGs, MOBAs, real-time strategies, and other innovative games? Also, did you know that with the Wii emulator, I can purchase a sensor to use on my PC and play Wii games with it using a Wiimote? I'll bet you had no idea that I too could have a drunken 4-player tennis match and at 4K 60 FPS. Number 11. 4-player family fun. Yes, we know PCs have been online for years, but what if you want to interact with people you actually know in the comfort of your own home? Apart from the aforementioned Wii activities, there are great quiz games like Scene It and Buzz, endless Mario Party games, dance mat games, iToy games, karaoke games. The list goes on and on. And again, I can download these games and play them on my emulator. God, you were so close though. You almost covered one of the actual pitfalls to PC gaming, and that is that a lot of PC games lose the split screen multiplayer feature when the game's ported to PC, even though the game had it on console. This is really annoying because as a PC gamer, I have 2 monitors. That is potentially 1 monitor per person, and is actually a real pitfall that you could have actually zinged me with, but you missed your chance. 12. Perception. Have you ever seen that episode of South Park where the kids are playing World of Warcraft? You know the fat, pale, pizza-faced guy with the wrist support slouched in his chair? That's you, that is. You are a PC gamer. Oh, burn! Jeez, that hurts. Actually, I gotta read you guys a similar comment that I received the other day on one of my Console Peasant Quotes videos. I think you guys will like it. It reads, Lamau, this series is a joke. A bunch of circle-jerk neckbeard PC gamers who confide in their ability to play video games on a PC. You're commentating over troll comments in your mother's basement. Life turn out like you thought? To which I replied, a little better than I thought actually. I'm gaming at 4K, I drive a Charger, I have my own place, and currently can't grow hair on my face, so no neckbeard here. Honestly though, I make these videos because not unlike those stupid Twitter quotes videos, it's funny to read quotes from stupid people. However, I do not endorse the idea that console gamers are idiots, but if you're being stupid, I'm gonna say so. Sorry if the video offended you, but honestly, it shouldn't. There's nothing wrong with you so long as you don't promote ignorance. Have a great day, man. The PC is gradually becoming the PC is gradually Ugh.